Good evening. How you doing, everybody? Hope you're well. Welcome back to the Young Fan Podcast. It's time for my League One predictions. It's the opening day. It's been too long. It's been way too long, but we're finally here for the opening day in Sky Bet League One. Today, we'll be predicting and previewing all of the fixtures for the curtain raiser on the 30th of July, this Saturday. Not long now. And thankfully, we haven't got to wait too long for some absolutely massive games. I thought we'd do it live, to get your thoughts in the live chat. We've got so many people already in here right now. Let's get straight into it. Absolutely buzzing to be here. Remember, this will be going up as a normal episode as well, so you can leave your comments, and I want you to leave your comments in the comment section below. I'll be replying and responding to all of them as per usual, but I thought we'd do it live, we discuss it live, and we get all of the thoughts from the people in the live chat. But as we should come over to here, we should be able to, if you can see on the screen right now, SofaScore. It's been too long since we've been on SofaScore on a match day. Some huge games. We haven't got to wait too long for some corker games in this division. The opening day, well, they really have treated us. We're going to start off with Bristol Rovers against Forest Green Rovers, but don't worry, I do have the live chat, so I can see your thoughts as they come in. Remember, leave a like and subscribe if you're new. I don't normally do the sort of the predictions and previews live, but I thought it's the opening day. Let's treat ourselves. Let's have a little let's have a little live chat, and let's discuss it with everybody, all the League One fans in the live chat this evening, 6 o'clock, and less than 48 hours until we will be watching Oxford United and Derby County and many others go head-to-head in Sky Bet League One. We're not going to start with Derby against Oxford United. We're going to start off with Bristol Rovers against Forest Green Rovers. Forest Green fans, Bristol Rovers fans, League One neutrals, get your thoughts. I've got the bookies here as well, giving their thoughts on it. If you've watched one of these episodes before, you'd also realise we look at the league table, we look at the form, we look at all these different factors. But these are sides, of course, that haven't played a single minute in League One. No one's played a minute. It's the opening day. So basing that and sort of judging things off recent form, we don't know how these sides are going to be looking going into the campaign. But we can take a look at, of course, their transfer window and how they've approached the transfer window, because some sides, let's be honest, have had better summer transfer windows and I'd say are better prepared going into another competitive League One season. So you should be able to see and hear me. People are already giving their thoughts in here. 2-0 to Bristol, 2-2 against Forest Green Rovers. It's brilliant to have you giving your thoughts in here right now. Of course, these are two newly promoted sides that did very, very well in League 2 last year. Earned themselves promotion. Forest Green, of course, up through winning the league, and Bristol Rovers came up through third in the league. A brilliant 7-0 win against Scunthorpe on the final day. Secured them promotion. Didn't have to go through the playoffs. These are two sides that, like I said, come into this season with a lot of optimism, I think. And I think Bristol Rovers are back in League One. That was the aim. That was exactly what Joe Barton wanted to happen. And thankfully for them, he was able to do it first time of asking. I expect a tight game. I expect a really, really tight game, an edgy game between two sides, like I said, who want to get off to a good start. Sides that get promoted into League One more than anyone want to get off to a really, really good start. Start off with 3 points. And I think, to be honest, it will be a really tight game, a really edgy game, and to be honest, that's probably what's going to happen with most of these opening games. You don't want to lose the first game of the season, so a tight game is probably what we expect. Last season, it was a 0-0 draw and a 2-0 Forest Green win, but Forest Green have had quite a lot happening over the summer. Their manager, Rob Edwards, has joined Watford quite controversially at the time. Key players such as Cadden, Kane Wilson, and Adams has left the football club. Cadden's going to divisional rivals Barnsley. Wilson has gone to Bristol City. These are key players leaving the club, and along with their manager as well. It's not ideal, and preparation like that, of course, is a little bit of a blow. You'd say it's a fairly big blow. So how are they going to adjust? How are they going to look going into the first game of the season? Of course, new manager Ian Birchnell has brought in new faces, so it's difficult. Of course, with Forest, with Bristol Rovers, of course, Forest Green Rovers is opposition for the opening day. They've also revamped their squad. They brought in some really exciting names. Mark of course, is somebody that's played quite a lot in League One, along with Rosita, of course, the midfielder they got from Fleetwood. Again, the clear aim is to stay in the league this season, but if they can, of course, drive their way up the league, that would be brilliant. And again, I put them around 14th with my prediction. For this game, I've gone with a 2-0 Bristol Rovers win. I know it's going to be quite a tight game. I just think Bristol Rovers are going to edge it. People are giving their thoughts in there as well. 2-0 Bristol Rovers. I've seen Ross Morgan say. AJ Norris has said 2-0 Rovers win. I'm going to have to agree with you. I wrote these before I went live. I just think 2-0 against Forest Green Rovers for Bristol Rovers on the opening day. I'm going to go with 2-0. Let's see what happens. But yeah, I'm going to go with the Rovers win against Forest Green on the opening day between those two sides. Right, moving on then to Lincoln City against Exeter City. Again, Lincoln, of course, came in. Well, I guess they come into this season with a new manager, which, of course, is exciting. Michael Appleton, who's just joined Blackpool, he left Lincoln at the end of the season. It wasn't a brilliant season for Lincoln, considering the year before that they got to the playoff final. You could say quite a substantial drop-off last year. As for Exeter, they come into this campaign, of course, with promotion on the back of themselves. So that'll, of course, be really exciting. Back in divisional... back into the division of League One. So again, like I always say, it's so difficult. And the opening game of the season, predicting is almost impossible. But what we can do is take a look at these two sides. Are they coming into this campaign sort of off the back of an exciting window, and sort of how are they going to be setting up? And yes, people are saying already, Lincoln City 3-0, 3-1. I've seen a 1-0 Lincoln. Hopefully we win. I think it will be 2-1 for us. I believe that is a Lincoln fan. So yeah, it's a new era at Lincoln. Of course, Mark Kennedy appointed as their new manager. Some new faces in there. O'Connor at the back really does excite me. Somebody who's done very, very well and earned a move into League One. I think he's going to be a really, really good centre-back. They have been really quite interesting with their recruitment. They've tried to go down, I think, with a younger route. And yeah, I mean, judging the window so far, it has been mixed for Lincoln. I don't think it's been absolutely outstanding. They have lost McGrandles to divisional rivals Charlton, which was quite a big loss. I believe that was on a free transfer. He didn't sign a new deal. But again, it's a new era. I don't really know what to expect with Mark Kennedy. I won't lie to you. I don't really know what we're going to see from him as a new manager. But I think what he's going to want to see is an improvement on last year. And that's also what Lincoln City fans are also expecting to see as well. As for Exeter, of course, they've only made one addition so far from their promotion last season, so their squad is pretty similar. In fact, it's nearly exactly the same to the side that came through in second place last year. But at the same time, I think that there'll be a sense of continuity, and when you look at that and you look at the positives of not really bringing in loads and loads of new faces, there is a sense of continuity, and they haven't got to really worry about gelling and getting to know each other and working out patterns of play for the opening game of the season. However, and the however is quite significant in the sentence I'm about to deliver, is that squad good enough? And is it a League 2 squad that's got to make a jump up to League 1? One thing I will say is Morecambe managed to do it. I predicted Exeter to come bottom. I think bottom of the league. It might be one from bottom. I think I've got Morecambe in bottom. Exeter haven't really improved. In fact, I've just said it there by Nat. I don't really think that squad has now been taken to the next level. I know some people say there isn't a massive a massive increase in quality, and there isn't a massive drop off from League 1 to League 2 and from League 2 up to League 1. However, there is margins to this. There is a sense of difference when it comes to the quality. So again, going in with the exact same squad pretty much, and there's been a couple of new faces. Is that good enough? I don't know. I just don't know. People are saying in here 2-1 Lincoln. Yeah, I'm a Lincoln fan. Alex agrees with me. In pre-season, we looked miles better than we did last season, but it was only pre-season. We didn't even play too good in pre-season. Transfer window was average for us too. Exactly. I think I've just sort of almost accidentally said what you've just said, mate. I think it has been a transfer window where it's been okay. It hasn't been incredible, but I think it's full of optimism, really, with Mark Kennedy. I don't really know what to expect. I don't know whether or not you know exactly what to expect, Lincoln City fans, but it's exciting. And also, I think we're all sort of going into the season with a sense of optimism. Even if we don't feel like we should be, we are. So we'll have to wait and see. Matt J will be good for them, but another striker needed to help them with the goals. Crazy how quick the football season is upon us. Looking forward to, says David Jones. I 100% agree with you. I'm going to go with 1-0 Lincoln in this game. I hope Exeter, will be backed quite heavily from their fans. Of course they will be. Of course, getting newly promoted into the division. First away day, it's massive. The fans will be behind them. I think the atmosphere at the game is going to be good, as I expect for most of the games. Of course, an opener does always provide a really, really good atmosphere within the ground. That should hopefully drive them. You can see here, looking at the odds, Lincoln City are favourites down to the bookies. It does say here that when the odds are 62 to 50, the expected chance of winning is 42%, but this team actually wins 48% of the game. So Lincoln are favourites in this game. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there, but the bookies are backing Lincoln in this one, and so am I. I'm going to go with the Lincoln City victory here by 1-0 against Exeter. So then let's move on to Wycombe against Burton Albion. Let's find the game first. That will always be helpful. Can't beat trying to find it. Here we are. Round 1. That's bizarre. Round 1 of League One. It's brilliant to be back. It really, really is. I can't really believe we're doing a predictions episode for the opening game of the season. But here we are. Right, let's have a look at the odds first, because we didn't look at that first. It's pretty clear here that Wycombe are favourites. 57% chance of winning for Wycombe with those odds. 57 exactly when they actually win it. So that's interesting. Burton, 15 to 4. 21% chance of winning with those odds. They actually only win 8% of their matches when they have those odds. So it's clear to see there that Burton are actually underperforming when they have those odds. And on face value, Wycombe Wanderers are favourites. Of course, got themselves into the playoff final last year, defeated by Sunderland 2-0 in the end. It was. Wycombe at home are dangerous. I think that's the message that I'm going to really sort of shout and scream to you on this Saturday evening. It's not Saturday yet. It will be Saturday when we reflect on the games. On this Thursday evening, they're dangerous at home, and their backs against the wall mentality will get them a long way. Gareth Ainsworth is a manager that always seems to just get enough out of the players to provide success, and when they don't believe that they're able to, and you look at their squad and you go, I don't know whether or not they got it, and they don't whether or not they got enough this season. They always seem to manage to do it, and that can be frustrating as hell. As an opposition or as a non-fan of Wycombe. But Gareth Ainsworth, he just does it. He does exactly what he needs to do. And that Wycombe Wanderers squad, you can, I guess, slander it. You can criticise it. And again, they're not the most attractive team to watch. However, they get results. And unfortunately, you can't really argue with the facts. Wycombe do generally play and get results. Whether or not you like their football or not, different conversation completely. Opening game of the season, at home, at Adams Park. I can only see really one real winner in this one. I'm going to be completely honest. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, of course, manager of Burton Albion. He'll be hoping to start the season how they have been starting the season in previous campaigns. To be honest, Burton have started the campaign previously, I think over the last 2 years, fairly well. But it's not going to be easy, and this is going to be a quite dangerous opening fixture. Many have predicted Burton to have a difficult year, quite a tough year. Some have actually predicted to get relegated. So we'll have to wait and see. I am going to go with a Wycombe win here. I'm going to go with a chat because the chat have been fairly, I think, confident with what they've said in the with their predictions. I'm going to go with 2-0 Wycombe. I did that before I looked at the live chat. I can see here Nat has gone with a 1-0 win. Regan Paul is the GOAT, has gone with a 2-0 Wycombe win. 3-1 Wycombe, Joe Fiddler. 0-0 from Joe Green. 4-0 from Josh. Kenny Talks Football says 1-0 Wycombe, typical Wycombe win. 2-0 Wycombe, says AJ Norris. Clark says 0-0, 2-1 Burton. 2-1, 2-0, some 0-0s in there, but whether or not we're taking into consideration the way that Wycombe do normally play football, maybe. Let's see what happens, but let's go with a 2-0 win against Wycombe. That's what I expect. Wycombe, I just can't see them not getting a victory on the opening day of the season against Burton Albion in this one. Right, let's go to Port Vale against Fleetwood next. Again, two sides, to be honest, that on face value have been tipped to go down this year. When you look at the bookies, a lot of fans thought that Fleetwood are going to be struggling this year. Port Vale also are down there when you look at the bookies and you look at a lot of people predicting their campaigns. So, yeah, it's interesting. Let's have a little chat about it. So, you can see here, unfortunately, we haven't got the exciting odds. So, that's not helpful. So, Port Vale are evens, actually, in this game, currently, when we look at the odds. Fleetwood 14 to 5, 12 to 5, of course, for a draw. So, they are the odds. You can have a look at them, of course. But like I said, these are two sides that have been predicted to struggle this year. That's, of course, a fan perspective, but also when you look at the bookies as well. Port Vale have been quite slow in the window, but have now quite quick, pickened up. Is that a word? I think it is. Their window so far, 4 players have joined the football club. I think they have really added quality with those 4 additions. Will Forrester on loan from Stoke is exciting, did very well with Mansfield last year in League 2. Of course, got them to the playoff final. They couldn't get into League 1 in the end, but Will Forrester, he did do a good job. I think bringing him a bit of experience playing in League 2, but also have now a second loan from Stoke, I think is very, very important. So that's an interesting signing for Port Vale, along with a few others as well. 3 others, I believe 2 days ago, they got those over the line. So Port Vale have now been adding players, and I was quite critical of them in the live stream I did quite recently, talking about the transfer window and how they have been quite slow and quite a dangerous approach, you could say, heading into the season. But I think Port Vale now have bolstered their squad. Is it enough to stay in the league? we'll have to wait and see. We're not looking at the predictions. We've done that episode. We're looking at Fleetwood now, and that'll be where their focus is at, taking it one game at a time. Do those players have enough time to gel ahead of this game against Fleetwood? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. As for Fleetwood, Scott Brown, his first competitive game, of course, as a manager. He has not managed a competitive game of football yet, so that's going to be interesting. He's going to be well up for this. He'll want to get off to a good start. He'll want Fleetwood to get off to a good start, but also from a personal perspective as well, he won't want to lose his first game as manager. So let's see what happens there. But Scott Brown, yeah, I think he's going to be up for it. And I've been quite confident about how I feel about Fleetwood. I think they brought in some really exciting names. I think Wiradou's a good addition. I think Vale is a good player from Shrewsbury. Earl on free transfer. Josh Earl, the fullback. Morton, the centre forward. I think these are really good signings and do improve Fleetwood and do bolster their squad. So yeah, let's wait and see what happens there. People have been giving their predictions in. Let's run through a few of these. 2-1 to Vale, says Ross Morgan. Fleetwood winning 1-0, says massive Josh Windaz fan. This game looks very well boring. Still think there'll be goals. 1-1, 3-0 to Fleetwood, 1-0 to Port Vale. 1-all, says Nat. 2-2, 1-1, 2-0 to Vale. Interesting. Quite a mixed set of predictions here. I think the other ones we've been discussing have been fairly similar when we discussed them in the live chat. I have gone with a draw in this one. I have gone with 1-1. I think Fleetwood probably will be the better side, but I just think as though, yeah, I think we probably will be looking at a draw here. Quite a tough game, quite an edgy game. I'm going to go with 1-1. But Port Vale, they have bolstered their squad. I was very critical of them in the transfer episode I did recently. But since then, they have meant business. And maybe they listened to my episode. I doubt it, but maybe. I doubt it. I very much doubt it. Right then, let's move on to the next one then. Morecambe against Shrewsbury Town. Where are they? Hopefully they should be here. Here they are. So, Morecambe. I did predict them 24th in the league, and I got a little bit of stick for it. I just think Morecambe, they're very reliant on Cole Stockton, and I don't know whether or not Cole Stockton is going to be able to do that again. I just don't. I think he's got the ability. He's a brilliant centre forward. Scored 23 goals last year in League One. Can he do it again? I don't know. I said he couldn't. Many other people have, I think, countered that and said that he can and he has got the ability to do it. I just feel as though this is just a League Two squad. I think their squad generally isn't great. It just isn't. I think beyond Cole Stockton, it's a very weak squad. Last year, without Cole Stockton, they're going to be playing League Two football. They would have been relegated. I predicted Morecambe to struggle this year. I was very open about that. If you can keep Cole Stockton quiet, Shrewsbury, message to Shrewsbury. I know this probably isn't a bit of incredible analysis and tactical insight into it. You keep Cole Stockton quiet, you'll be fine. That's what I'm going to say here. If you keep Cole Stockton quiet, you'll be fine. He's a danger man. He's a striker who does score goals in this division. He's strong, he's powerful. On the counter-attack, I was a little bit I'm an eye on whether or not he can be as effective. But because he's such a good finisher, he can get away with it. You keep him quiet, Shrewsbury, you'll be fine. I've been really impressed with Shrewsbury's transfer business. It's gone a little bit under the radar, in my opinion. Shipley, Dunkley, O'Brien, Bayliss, all coming through the door. That squad looks much better going into this opening game of the season. We look at Morecambe. Like I said, I feel as though they're a little bit of a one-horse. Is it one-horse pony? Is that the saying? One trick? What's the saying? I don't know. But yeah, I think whether or not when they've sort of tried the Cole Stockton manoeuvre and that hasn't worked, I just feel as though Shrewsbury, they're going to be fine. This squad is much improved going into his first game of the season. I think they are my surprise package of the season. I think Shrewsbury will be fine. I'm going to go with a Shrewsbury win here, 2-0. Let's have a little look at what people are saying. David Jones is there, 8-0 game in the League One will be an 8-0 loss for Lincoln. That's not this game, but I appreciate it. Morecambe, make that Morecambe nil, Shrewsbury 15, 3-1 to Shrewsbury, 2-0 Shrewsbury, 2-0 Shrewsbury, 2-0 Shrewsbury, 2-2, 8-0 Shrewsbury, 1-1, 2-0, 2-0 Shrewsbury, 2-1, 2-1. So I do think as though it's fairly, fairly confirmed there. I think the chat, myself, we're agreeing. I think Shrewsbury will be fine against Morecambe on this opening game of the season between those two sides. What's the saying? Is it a one-horse pony? What is that the saying? I don't know. Someone's going to have to help me out. But you know what I'm trying to say? I think as though they've got one trick, and when they've used the trick, I don't know whether or not they're going to be able to try anything else. If that's being a little bit too cruel, it might be. Right, let's move on. Cambridge United against MK Dons. I'm seeing Manny is my stepdad is in the chat. This is your chance to shine, my friend. Let's see what happens. Right, Cambridge United against MK Dons. This game intrigues me. It does intrigue me. This is really one-trick pony. There we go, one-trick pony. Everyone's firing in. Where did I get horse from? Why was horse in there? It's one-trick pony. What did I say? One horse. Forget it. Right, let's go to this game then, because this game is really, really interesting. Will they kick on from last year, Cambridge? That's the question I want to pose to you as Cambridge United fans, because last year was very, very successful. You stayed in the league. Many people thought you wouldn't stay in the league, but Mark Bonner played a brilliant style of play. The way that I think Cambridge approached the campaign with a very attractive style was really impressive. It surprised a lot of people. It surprised me. I think it surprised quite a few opposition as well. I think Mark Bonner is a really, really exciting manager. I think he's probably the one that, after Michael Duff, might be moving on to a better opportunity. Is that harsh? Sorry, that sounded quite aggressive. I think as though there will be a side maybe in the Championship that might be looking at Mark Bonner, not because Cambridge United, aren't an ambitious football club, not because Cambridge United aren't a big football club compared to where he goes to potentially. I just think as though he might be looking for that step above soon, but he isn't yet, and I think, if anything, that's a really, really quite positive thing towards Cambridge. I think he's done a brilliant job there, and he was linked to Barnsley quite briefly, so we'll have to see what happens. You going to any of the games this week? And I am going to Derby against Oxford United, and I'm dreading it. Absolutely dreading it. I'm seeing a few people giving their thoughts already. Manning is my dad says 2-1 to MK Dons. People are already giving their thoughts in. I'll come through them in just a second. Look, I expect Mark Bonner to play the same style of play. I expect him to play a very, very attractive style of play. I think he's going to try and attack MK Dons. Is that dangerous the way that MK Dons are? Potentially. But I think Mark Bonner is a brave manager. I think Cambridge will be going into this campaign very brave again. They've got that deadly duo of Sam Smith and Ironside. Not Irondale. He's left. We'll come on to him in just a second. Ironside up front. Sam Smith, they were brilliant last year. The front two were absolutely deadly. And again, you get those two sort of on the same wavelength. I think they're going to be really quite dangerous once again. They did lose Irondale at the back to Bolton. He's a big loss. He's a really good defender and played left back, sort of a back three a little bit last year, but he can play as a left back and a back four. He can also play centre back as well. So that will be a big loss. And from a defensive perspective, that will be a little bit frustrating. They have lost two key men, MK Dons, as well. And I think Twine and Darling are big losses. Whatever you say, those are two players that were absolutely magnificent last year. Twine ripped League One apart. He could have made a double jump into the Premier League. He's gone to Burnley, of course, who are now in the Championship. They have ambitions to get into the Premier League. So he might be making that two jump within probably maybe a year. Let's see. But I think Twine is an absolutely outstanding footballer. Was I surprised he left? Not really, considering the way that he ripped up the division last year. Darling going to Swansea is a really good fit, I think, the way that he plays. And those two were influential, massively in the way that MK Dons played last year. They have tried to replace them with some exciting young lads, particularly from Ireland. I like the look of the two lads they brought in from Ireland. They look like they've gone down the younger approach, bringing some long-term players in, look at the long-term future. If they gel and they click straight away, then wow, this could be absolutely outstanding. But are they going to gel? They have brought quite a few new players in. Nathan Holland, again, is a winger they brought in. I know quite a lot about him. He was at Oxford a couple of times on loan. Look, they've got a really, really exciting squad. Can they gel in time? Will they be able to click? Liam Manning's got a really good track record of getting the best out of individuals and getting them to gel in a very successful team. They surprised a lot of people last year. Will they surprise a lot of people again this year? I think they probably will, to be honest. They will play extreme football. That's how Liam Manning likes to play. I'm going to go 3-1 to MK Dons in this one. Let me know what you've got to say. By the way, we've got 100 people in the live chat right now. Leave a like, every single one of you. That would be absolutely incredible. Leave a like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. So much content coming your way. This is my predictions and preview for the opening day. Right, let's have a little look at what we've got here, because people, of course, will be giving their thoughts to this game. We've got 2-1 to Dons, 2-0 against 2-0 Cambridge, 1-0 Cambridge, 3-1 to MK Dons. Regan Paul does agree with me. We love the Dons. Closer than people would maybe think. We lost 1-0 very unlucky at home last year, and they've had a big turnover, whereas we haven't. 2-1 to Cambridge. Was nearly late last time I went to Cambridge because Pizza Hut took about 1 hour. I won't read that rest of that one out, but you know what he's trying to say. He didn't get his pizza. He's not very happy. 2-1 to Cambridge, 5-1 to MK Dons. You sold out. This is talking about for Derby Oxford United game. We have sold out. MK switching to a back four at the back. Interesting. How's that going to affect things? Same here. Say Oxford and whereabouts are you? MK Dons not as strong this season for me. Look, they have lost two key players, but they have replaced them. They have reinvested. So look, I'm going to stick to my guts. 3-1 against MK Dons in this one. That's what I'm going to go with. 2-1 to MK. Twitch Lisby said I'm going to go 3-1. Let's see what happens. Right then, how long have we been live for? We've been live for a little while now, I believe. Right, let's move on then. Let's go to Accrington Stanley against Charlton, because again, new manager at Charlton. Accrington probably couldn't have had any more of an experienced manager in charge with John Coleman. Let's see what happens. This game, I'm really interested to see how Ben Garner's going to play, and that for me is exciting. I'm sure Charlton fans are also quite excited as well. How's Ben Garner going to approach this first game of the season? His track record in League One is abysmal with Bristol Rovers, but he did very, very well at Swindon. He's earned the move back into League One. He couldn't get it really through Swindon, but he has been able to do it through, of course, a very successful campaign, earning a move as now Charlton manager. Some new faces, a real rebuild, a real refresh at Charlton over the summer, and that is, again, very, very exciting. I'm sure, so like I said, Charlton fans will be quite excited with the way that he's going to approach. Will it be a back four? I imagine so. He talks about how quite attacking he is as a coach, how he wants to have his team on the front foot, quite high pressing, high line. It intrigues me. I look at Accrington. Again, we know how Accrington are going to play. John Coleman's been the manager now for a long, long time. He knows Accrington like the back of his hand. He also knows League One like the back of his hand as well. So John Coleman, he knows how to start a League One campaign. He'll know the importance of getting off with 3 points. The squad looks in similar shape. They haven't lost many players. Sean McConville, their main man last year, is still on that left-hand side compared to left wing-back, left midfield, and also as a left winger as well. He got a lot of goal contributions last season, a very key player in Accrington Stanley's side. So, yeah, I mean, Accrington, like I said, it's similar to last year, and we know how they're going to play. They'll try and play a little bit on the counter-attack if they can, but they're at home, so you don't know how they're going to approach the match. As for Charlton, well, we expect to see an attacking game of football. It's how Ben Garner's been talking about. He wants to, play on the front foot, like I said, play a high line, be a high pressing side, and the players he's brought in do excite me. Jack Payne, an attacking midfielder, looking to break the lines, but also, I think, advance through the midfield. Woolacott, the goalkeeper, is going to really quite transform the way that they move from back to front. Quite a comfortable player on the ball. You look at Steven Sessegnon, who did very well at Plymouth. Again, another player on loan from Fulham. So, look, I'm really, really quite intrigued to see how Charlton approach it under Ben Garner. McGrandles in the middle is going to be a real force, I believe. He did very, very well at Lincoln, and him going to a divisional rival to Charlton is really quite interesting to see how that goes. I'm going to go with the Charlton win here. I'm going to go with 1-0, but don't sleep on Accrington, because they can be very, very, sounds stupid, but they can be very, very good when they are the underdogs, and when people aren't expecting them to win, they can be a real banana skin. They've been a banana skin in this division for so many years. A lot of sides maybe go a little bit complacent against Accrington, but John Coleman, he's a savvy, intelligent, tactical manager who knows exactly what he can do to frustrate an opposition. So don't sleep on Accrington this year, because once again, last year, 12th, 13th, not the biggest club whatsoever, not working with the biggest budget, but a bit of consistency with their manager over a long period of time. You just don't know. Charlton 1-0, 2-2, 2-1 Charlton, 2-0 to Charlton, 1-0 to Charlton, 1-1. 2-0 to Accrington Stanley, 3-0 to Charlton, 2-1. I'd like to see Charlton do well this season, 3-2 against Charlton, 1-1 between those two sides. Colby Bishop is a huge loss, although Charlton's away form was poor last year. That is important to say, Jack Hinton. It's a brilliant point there. Colby Bishop, of course, did leave to Portsmouth in midweek, so that will be a loss. And as a centre-forward, he's been very, very good. I believe Dion Charles was at Accrington as well, of course, before he moved to Bolton in January. So over the past few years, they have lost some really quite key strikers. So how they sort of adapt and how they deal with that, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, well, let's see what happens. Someone just said that Ed Krantz has best League One content. I do appreciate it, mate. I try my best. So I'm going to go with a 1-0 Charlton win here. You guys have been brilliant in the live chat giving your thoughts. 1-0 Charlton. Don't sleep on Accrington, though. They can be dangerous. But where their goals going to come from? That's what sort of I ask you. Right then, Plymouth against Barnsley next. I won't lie, I didn't have enough time to write notes for this one, so this is going to be completely off the cuff. I'm going to sort of expose my lack of professionalism here. So you can see the odds on the screen as well. Hopefully we do have some odds as well in more detail. These are prediction and winning odds. So Plymouth are 11-10. The expected chance of winning is normally 48%, but this team actually wins 63% of their games. Barnsley 13-5, 28% chance of winning with those odds, 30% for Barnsley specifically. So looking at that, it looks as though Plymouth are favourites in this one. So that interests me, because Barnsley, of course, got relegated out of the Championship last year. And again, they've been fairly impressive, I think, with the business they brought in. They have lost a few players here and there. Morris going to Luton along with Withrow as well. But The players they brought in, Cadden, is really quite exciting. I think he's somebody that is going to provide a lot of quality down that left-hand side. A real attacking force, did brilliantly well in League Two. I look at Norwood, an experienced striker in this league. It looks as though Michael Duff, new manager, we spoke about how interesting these sides are going to be with new managers, and that also does intrigue me as well. These are sides that are going into campaigns with new managers, and that means there's going to be a new playing style as well. So how are these sides going to play with these new coaches in charge? So looking at Plymouth as well, surprised a lot of people last year. Only just missed out on the playoffs last year, losing to MK Dons on the final day 5-0, and in the end finished 7th in the league. But throughout the season, we're a real force. Lost Ryan Lowe in the middle of the campaign, but Schumacher stepped in. Of course, Ryan Lowe's assistant manager, he took on the permanent role, and he did a really good job. A lot of people thought it might fall apart. However, he kept hold of things. He kept the ship quite steady at times, and I think in the end, very, very unlucky not to miss out on the top 6. Plymouth have been very, very good with the business that they've made. Morgan Whittaker excites me. A loan deal from Swansea City. He's a striker that's exciting. The front three now looks really quite reinforced. I like Plymouth Argyle. I think the way that they've approached this window is really interesting. So, interested to see what people have got to say in the predictions. Both sides been quite busy in the window. I think have improved their squad during the transfer window. And that's quite interesting, actually, when you look at Barnsley, a side getting relegated from the Championship. How do they improve their squad? I do think they have done. And Michael Duff did brilliantly well in League One last year with Cheltenham. You people have said 1-0 against Argyle, 2-0 to Barnsley. This really could go either way. 2-1 against Barnsley, 2-1 Plymouth, 2-0 to Barnsley. Do you vlog when you go to games? Unfortunately, we won't be vlogging as such. We will be doing something a little bit different, but not vlogging. I like to... I know no disrespect to anyone that does a vlog, but I just feel as though watching the game is the most important thing. I don't like sort of having my camera out and... it's not really for me personally, but I appreciate everybody that does vlog it. They do create really good content. 1-0 Argyle, 1-1, 2-2, 3-1, 1-0. Argyle strong at home. I think Plymouth will shock people once again this year. I think Wednesday top Plymouth scored. Interesting. Plymouth second. Plymouth 1, Barnsley 1. We've made some good signings and kept our whole team. I think we're very underrated this year. I think that is really important to say, Callum. You have actually kept hold of the majority of your squad. And other than Broom, who's gone back to Peterborough, I believe, is that a loan deal? I don't know whether or not he's coming back. Other than that, I think you've pretty much kept hold of what was a very successful squad last year and improved it. I am going to go with a Plymouth win here. A home win. Home advantage is very, very key. We saw last season a large percentage of wins came from the home side. I'm going to go 2-1 to Plymouth in this one. But that might go down quite horribly with the Barnsley fans. I'm sorry, but I just think home advantage is key. Home advantage really is key. So 2-0 Barnsley, 3-0 Barnsley. Probably the only one where a lot of people have got their contrasting views in the live chat. Of course, if you're watching this as a video, let me know in the comment section down below. Both mid-table, says Brandon Simpson. Don't think that's going to go down very well either, Brandon. I think I might be safe now you've said that. Right then, let's move on to the next one. Cheltenham against Peterborough. Of course, Cheltenham, who did very, very well last year, but did lose their manager, as previously mentioned, to Barnsley, Michael Duff, and that is a big loss, along with their captain, William Boyle, as well. As for Peterborough United, they brought in some young players, actually. They haven't really lost any huge names. George Grant, who moved to Peterborough 2 seasons ago from Lincoln, couldn't really settle in, couldn't really gel, and Grant McCann clearly thought it'd be the right time for him to move on. He's gone up to Scotland, I believe. So Grant McCann, of course, he's done very, very well in League One. He won the league with Hull 2 seasons ago, so he knows League One very, very well. He's got a very successful record in this division. As for Cheltenham, will they be suffering from second season syndrome? The hope will be absolutely not, but you just don't know. Sides like Cheltenham, who do lose quite big leadership figures with their manager and their captain, they have replaced those players. And manager, I should say. They've gone with a coach. I've completely forgotten his name, who the new Cheltenham manager is, but he was a coach under Michael Duff. They tried to keep quite a continuity piece of, I think, role when appointing the new manager, so that'll be interesting. I do think Peterborough will be favourites in this game. We'll have a look at the odds here. You can see here Peterborough are the favourites, 13 to 10, 43% chance of winning. Cheltenham 21 to 10 to 32%, and Peterborough do quite well actually. They defy the odds when actually being at those specific odds, 13 to 10. So Peterborough are favourites in this one. I'm not surprised by that. They have got a really good squad. I don't think it's going to be as straightforward as people think, but I do think they've got a really quite strong squad. Cheltenham at home, though, they were dangerous last year. Their home form was really, really good and were a banana skin for a lot of sides at home. So, having said that, I am going to go with the Peterborough win. I'm sorry. I'm going to go with Peterborough winning this one 2-1. But again, people, give your thoughts. 4-0 to Pompey. 4-0 Pompey? 4-0 Posh, sorry. Sorry, very rude of me. 4-0 Posh, 1-1, 4-0, 2-1 against Cheltenham for Posh. 5-0 to Posh, 3-0 against Peterborough, 3-0 Posh, 3-1 to Peterborough, 3-0, 4-1. You seem a nice lad, mate. Hope you've had a safe and enjoyable journey to home on Saturday up the Rams. Thank you very much, mate. Thank you very much. Not too enjoyable. Yeah, hopefully it won't be too enjoyable. No, actually, for you, actually, I hope we win. But I really appreciate it. Really nice comment. I can see why people have Barnsley to finish mid-table. Hi, Jack. Hello, mate. 5-2. People are giving their Bolton scores. We're coming back to Bolton. Cheltenham without Duff will be Duff this season. EJ Norris, I like it. I'm going to go with the Peterborough win here. I'm going to go with Peterborough winning 2-1. Right then, let's move on to the next one. Which ones haven't we done? We've done that one, we've done that one, we've done that one. We've got Ipswich against Bolton. We've got Sheffield Wednesday against Pompey. We've got Derby against Oxford United. I believe that is it. So not many. Let's go to Derby against Oxford United. Peterborough goal will be probably for a dive or a penalty. Still don't like Peterborough after what happened to us a couple of years ago. Well, 4-0 written all over it. Pompey on the mind, Jack. Pompey. In fact, because 4-0 written all over it are in the chat, let's go to Pompey. Let's go to Portsmouth because it's only right. Tom, brilliant, brilliant lad. He's once again in the live chat. So it's only fair we talk about Sheffield Wednesday against Portsmouth for the opener at Hillsborough. By the way, what a fixture. What a fixture to open the season. Sheffield Wednesday against Portsmouth. Two sides who will have aspirations to be in that top six, no doubt about it. Danny Cowley, Darren Moore, these are managers, ambitious guys who have had really, really quite good transfer windows. People have given their Oxford scores. We'll come back to the Oxford. I've done a last-minute change because Tom's in here. He's a brilliant guy. So, yeah, I think Sheffield Wednesday, their window's been exceptional. They are my window winners. They were my window winners, and they still are. They've really gone from strength to strength in this transfer window. The players they brought in are proven in League One. Michael Smith, Ahikwe. These are players that I think they're exceptional. They're absolutely exceptional. When we look at proven League One quality, people bang on about you've got to have people that are proven in League One to be successful. You've got to have savvy players that know how to get the league. Well, Sheffield Wednesday have done that. They've done exactly that. And also the players that haven't necessarily got out of the league before in League One are exciting. They're young. They're hungry. And they're also bringing in some experience. Heads, Volks as well. He's not, I guess, your most youngest player. I believe he's about 27, to be fair. So he's not old. Hennigan at the back is about 29, I think. A striker, of course, in Michael Smith, I already mentioned him, but he's at 30, but the way he plays, he doesn't need to be really old because he sort of backs a goal mentality. He's very, very good in the air, finisher. He's also very quite exceptional. As for Pompey, they've lost Harness, but they replaced him really with Colby Bishop. Joe Piggott's come in on loan from Ipswich, a different type of striker, a tall striker, really good in the air. You look at the other signings they've made as well. I believe Dane Scarlett was announced yesterday, a really exciting striker from Tottenham. A lot of people expected him to be part of maybe Tottenham's first team plans last year. Coming into this year, a bit of last year as well. But it looks as though that won't be the case. He's going to be able to move on loan. I do believe Pompey's a really nice destination for him to go on loan because he probably won't be starting week in, week out. They've got the likes of Colby Bishop. They've got the likes of Joe Pigott. Rowan and Curtis can also play, of course, as that striker as well. So I think it's a really, really exciting move for him personally, but I think it's a really exciting move for Pompey as well. So this is a really quite difficult one to call. When we look at the odds, it doesn't actually have Pompey's ones, but 67 to 100, 60% chance of winning. It does seem as though, 60%. So obviously Sheffield Wednesday are favourites when you look at those odds. Let's have a little look at what people have got to say in the live chat. Here we go. Time for the pig stuff. A big game this. I'm going to go for a score draw 2-2. 2-0 to Wednesday. Sheffield Wednesday 2-0. 3-0 to Wednesday. 2-1 to Pompey. Bishop Brace. Colby's taking us up. 3-0 Sheffield Wednesday. 2-1 to Smith. Late winner. 3-1 Wednesday. 1-0 Pompey. 1-0 to Pompey. 2-1 to Sheffield Wednesday. Not sure about this one. I want to go with 1-0 to Sheffield Wednesday. Good luck with Pigott. I know he hasn't got the biggest and best reputations at Ipswich. Danny Cowley created a club to have to create Portsmouth, really. Pompey going to be shaking in their boots of 30,000 in Hillsborough. 5-0 Wednesday. I'm going to go with a draw. I'm going to go 2-2. I'm going to go with 2-2. Got to fancy Pompey on this one, given last night's transfer and good fitting around the club right now. 2-1 to Pompey win, says 4-0 written all over it. I am going to go with a 2-2 draw. I know 4-0 written all over it. Has backed Pompey, as I expect he would have done. I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw. I expect a draw, but I can see goals. These sides like to attack. The way they're going to play this season are going to be very forward-thinking. I'm going to go 2-2. I'd say people are sort of slightly edging Wednesday. So that's interesting. That is interesting. Criminal, that. Are you doing FPL and Championship Fantasy? I am doing FPL. I'm not doing Championship Fantasy. So, yeah, I mean, that's interesting. I'm going to go with 2-2. I know Joe Fiddler, of course, Sheffield Wednesday fans, not happy with that. Of course, part of the podcast I did yesterday, the preview, looking at, speaking to a lot of fans as well, call-ins. Sonny Lally says, up the gas. So does Sonny Lally again. David Jones, you must be feeling like 2-2. Must be feeling the 2-2, same here. Yeah, I think 2-2. I think it's going to... It could go either way. If I'm being honest, if there's any side to win, sorry, Tom, I would say Sheffield Wednesday will probably win if I had to pick a winner. But I'm going to go the draw 2-2. Hopefully our home record continues. I'm going to go 2-2 in that one. I know I've sort of sat on the fence, but it can be a draw, so I'm not sitting on the fence, actually. I'm going to go 2-2. Right, then let's move on to Derby against Oxford United. The penultimate game we're going to be chatting about today, I believe. Hopefully we haven't missed any. No, I believe we hasn't. The last one will be Ipswich against Bolton. I think Wednesday are so strong. Morecambe staying up, says Charlie Elliott. I'll have to wait and see. Right, Derby County then against Oxford United. I get where you're coming from, but I think Wednesday will win. I just think Sheffield Wednesday's squad is exceptional. And sometimes when you look at both sides and you have to sort of digest and preview the game, and things can change. If Sheffield Wednesday lose 3 games in a row and Pompey win the first 3, then, obviously they won't be playing each other. That isn't how the fixture list works. But let's say, hypothetically, when you look at form is huge. So you don't know completely because it's, of course, completely, 0-0 across the draw, innit? No points, no wins, no draws, no losses. So, you simply do not know. So until you sort of have that form to back it up, it's really difficult. Right, then let's have a look at Derby against Oxford United. As much as I don't want to talk about it because Oxford are having an absolute nightmare at the moment. Today, confirmed they're not confirmed by the football club, but it's confirmed by very close sources. And manager Carl Robinson, Cameron Brannigan, will be leaving the football club. He'll be finally leaving, which is... that sounded like I want him to leave. It's not. I mean, it's been dragging on for a long, long time. For about 3 years, he'll be leaving. Gutted that he's leaving. It's an embarrassment that we're letting him go. But unfortunately, we're owned by, at the moment, it seems as though, owners that are just not going to be as ambitious as I hope they would be. But that's another story. There'll be a video coming on that very shortly. Let's have a look at what people have got to say. 1-0 Derby, Bolton winning the league. 2-2, going to be hard for us, but we're going to be able to, but we're really good at home. Good luck, mate. Thank you. Wednesday beat 4-1 on the final day. I know, but a lot's changed. A lot's changed over the summer. Going up for Derby, not confident at all. Probably 2-0 Derby. 2-2 for this one. 3-0 Derby. Sorry, mate, don't really like Derby, but they're going to smash the league this year. Oh, God, it's making me feel better. Derby 1, Oxford 2. Yes, an Oxford win for me. Wow, I'll take that. I'll take that, mate. I'll take that, David. Up the Whites. If we lose Brannigan, which is 99.999% confirmed, then we'll get battered. 3-0, 3-1 to Derby. Derby 1-0, 2-0 Derby. Look, Derby are favourites. Derby are very clear favourites. 45% chance, 30% chance. We look at the individual odds as well. Derby also do edge us. So, look, I think the way that today's gone, we've lost Anthony Ford, we've lost Brannigan. Our window's been okay. I'll be honest, it's been okay. I think with Brannigan leaving, it's been a bad window. I think you put all that to consideration. It's not just about how many players you bring in and the type of players you see join the club. It's about who stays and how aggressive you are when retaining players. That's also very important as well. So, yeah, I'm going to go with a 2-1 Derby. 2-0 Derby, I think. 2-0 Derby. Oxford have to pay the rent. That's the problem with transfers. That is true. But I just feel as though Luke McNally has a bit of cash there. And we haven't spent £1.5 million or 1.2, whatever he got for him. So there's money in there to maybe give Cameron Brannigan a little bit of a pay rise. Seems as though we haven't really been able to do that. So that's why it frustrates me, Paul. But I get what you're trying to say. 2-0 Derby. Derby game going to take a while to stick third at best. Hopefully we'll get the new stadium started soon. Maybe, but with these owners, I don't know. 3-1 Derby, 3-0 Derby. I'm going to go 2-0 Derby. I'm going to the game. I don't want to be negative. I back the boys. My head says 2-0 Derby. I hope 1-1. I really hope. My heart says maybe we could get a draw, snatch a draw, 1-1, but my head just says 2-0, lads. It just does. And it's not nice. It's not nice predicting your side to lose, but Derby, some of their players are ridiculous. McGoldrick, Hourahan. I've gone blank because the amount of players they've gone in. Mendes Lang, Roberts at the back. Incredible names. Absolutely incredible names. And we haven't had an increased budget. Fingers crossed. 1-0 Derby. I'm going to go 2-0 Derby. Like I said, I don't want to predict us to lose, as I keep repeating myself, but it's true. But Derby are favourites. The Unfan Podcast, since you're on the topic, are you Robinson in or out? I'm Robinson in, mate. I'm Robinson in. No reason to be Robinson out right now. I'm Robinson in, but I think he's been let down by the board. I think he's been let down by the board in this one. The way that he said in his interview how he feels like he's been... He sounded really deflated. He said he's got to try and put a smile on his face. He's got to try and, act as though he's okay with it and try and say bye and, say bye to him and wish him. He sounded like he's been let down. That's all I'm going to say. McGoldrick won't play for us on Saturday. Oh, interesting. That's interesting to know. That is interesting to know. Derby, depends on how fast they gel. That is very important. Derby, a team of individuals. Yeah, that is important as well. I think it's quite important to say, these are players that, of course, have come in. They've got brilliant names. They've got brilliant stature. The history of them playing in the Premier League just under a year ago is remarkable. But they have got to gel. They have got to gel. But in pre-season, they've done a fairly good job. Robinson is a good manager, in my opinion. He seems to be frustrated. He is very frustrated. He tried hard. I mean, he hasn't left just yet. But he's trying hard. Avad says Oxford can get around, can ground share with Bolton in the meantime. I'll sort it out. Get it out. Avad, sort it out, mate. I appreciate that. I'll get on the phone to the owner now and have a go at him about letting Brannigan go while I'm at it. Right, final game we're going to be talking about then, Ipswich Town against Bolton Wanderers. By the way, if you're watching right now, leave a like, subscribe. Massive thank you to everybody that's been part of the live chat today. I've loved doing these preview and predictions live. It's been a brilliant fun. I normally do a recorded one, but I've run out of time, so I've had to do it live. But it's been brilliant. I've really, really enjoyed it. And if you haven't left a like, please do such a thing. Subscribe on the road to 2.22 thousand subscribers. Really, really do mean the world. And also, join the Discord server, by the way. Link isn't in the description, unfortunately, because I forgot to put it in. But... in fact, I'm going to put it in. I'm going to put it in now. We've got 47 likes at the moment. So can we get that up? We've got 129 people watching right now. Leave a like. 129 people, 47 likes. It's free. Just go down there, hit that thumbs up button. It's easy. Really, really easy. And subscribe if you're new as well. Right, really quickly, I'm going to put the Discord server in. I should be able to just put it in the description. So join the Discord server because... we'll be doing lots of chatting there. We talk a lot about League One. We have a real discussion. It's a real sort of fan discussion. And also, if you want to be part of the live call-ins that we did, an episode just gone live yesterday, doing a live call-in with the fans, you want to be part of that because we'll be doing more of them going into the current season. Of course, now the season is about to start. You'll be part of them. The best place to do that is, of course, in the Discord server. So let me just quickly switch over to this screen. And then we should be able to just put the link in there as well. I've just had a super chat. Matt MS, by the way, you don't have to do that, mate. You don't have to do that, Matt, but I really do appreciate it. He donated £2. He says, good luck with the channel this season, pal. Thank you so much, Matt. He really does appreciate it. In fact, Matt, you've just broken a record. You were the first person to ever super chat on the channel. You really did not need to do that. I really, really do appreciate it. Much, much love. What did he say, lad? Who are you talking about? What's going on? Have Pompey been done yet? Yes, the Pompey have been done yet. I've gone with a draw. Went with 1-1. I'm just trying to get the Discord server with it in the live chat. In fact, I'll do it at the end. Because we've got to move on because I don't want to make people wait. Right then, Ipswich against Bolton Wanderers. A massive, massive game for an opener. It's huge. This one is intriguing. Really, really intriguing. I think Ipswich, of course, have had a really good window, and along with Bolton, but I think Ipswich have had a really quite interesting window. First window, of course, for Kieran McKenna. Some of the players that they've brought in are very, very impressive. They certainly have bolstered that squad. Harness from divisional rivals Pompey really does excite me from an Ipswich external perspective. Bolton also have had a really good window. Bradley coming through the door is exciting. A loan player from Liverpool, sort of replaced Marlon Fossey, of course, who they had on loan from Fulham last year. Mine's gone blank. Irondale, of course, has come in at the back. These are really, really exciting players. I think will bolster Bolton in different ways. They haven't been able to. They probably can do, but they haven't, gone out and brought in, tons and tons of players. But they didn't need to. They did a lot of that business in January, and I think that was really important for them. That they were able to, I think, improve where they needed to. They needed to improve in those certain areas, and they did do that, and they haven't needed to bring in 10, 15 players. Ipswich, of course, last year also did bring in about 10, 15 players. It really did not work, and, because of that, Kieran McKenna is now the manager. I've been impressed, actually, with the players that they've brought in. Like I said, Harness is exciting. I think Ladapo is really, really exciting as a striker option, along with, of course, Harness, who can play as a number 9, but also can play off the left and the right. They've just signed Leif Davis, by the way, from Leeds. I believe as though that was a 7-figure fee. If anyone knows the fee, I know it was an underclosed fee. If anybody in the chat right now knows, Ian Toole, that's the player I was thinking about from Bolton, he came in last week as well. If anybody knows the fee for Leif Davis, I believe it was an underclosed fee, but apparently 7 figures. Absolutely massive fee. I'm doing Ipswich tomorrow. Come on, you Whites. Ipswich owe Bolton, but have said that I can see it at 2-2. Interesting. Put him in the Guinness World Record. He said 2-2. I will put him in the record. He's broken records. First person to choose Super Chat, Matt. Amazing guy. 2-1 Ipswich. 5-2 Bolton. Third from last season, Leo. Don't know what that's about, Nat, but I appreciate it. 10-0 Whites. Come on. 19. Going to be a lot of sad Ipswich fans on Saturday. That's what you got to say. You've already won the league. 900k, I think. Pleasure, mate. Content is top class, and as a fellow content creator myself, I always think it's important to support others who do the same. So keep it up, lad. Thank you very, very much, Matt. I really, really do appreciate it. Such kind words there as well. 9 mil, just over 1 mil, I believe. 1.2 mil. It was $1 million. Look, it's incredible. League One spending over £1 million. It's absolutely massive. And it's crazy, but that's how the league's gone. That's how competitive this division is. And Ipswich, for a left-back, spending over £1 million. I mean, it's aggression. Is it a little bit too much? Maybe. I don't know. He's certainly a really good player. And a lot of championship clubs were looking at him to go down to League One. He's certainly going to be, I hope, a very good player. Look, I know I've got a lot of Bolton fans that watch this. A lot of Ipswich fans also that watch the podcast. I am going to go with the draw. I know it's, again, sitting on the fence. I've sat on the fence. But I just think opening game of the season, very edgy, very tight. I don't expect loads and loads of goals. I just don't. I don't think a player wants to make a mistake. I don't think a manager wants to make a tactical slip-up or anything like that. I'm going to go 1-1. Total is worth £900,000. Interesting. Ipswich, you can't buy the league. I can't wait to see you again next season. Got 1-0... 3-1 written all over it. We're going to do the double. 5-0 to Bolton. I think Bolton will get off to a winning start. I'm going to go with a draw 1-1. I believe Ollie Barnes has also agreed with me there. Yeah, I'm going to go with 1-1. I just can see that being the case. Look, we'll have to wait and see. But I just think first game of the season, a draw, it's probably what it's going to be. But, what the bookies say, that's important to say. Ipswich are 91 to 100. Expected chance of winning is 52%, but this team actually wins 53% of the matches. Bolton 16 to 5. Expected chance of winning is 24%, but this team actually wins 18% of the matches. So, it is Ipswich favourites. And home game, good transfer window. Aggressive in the window, it must be said as well. Big fan base, of course. Going to be probably a packed out Portsmouth Road. Ipswich win for sure. Lee Batchelor, look forward to seeing you. Let's see what happens. Leo Batchelor, look forward to seeing you. Let's see what happens. I'm going to go the 1-1 draw in this game. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been absolutely incredible this evening. The amount of people we've had in the live chat is incredible. The support has been phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And normally, like I said, I don't do these live, but again, you might have made me have to sway my decision because the content that we've been able to provide on a on a Thursday night live, it's never normally peak time for people talking about football, especially on a live stream. But you've been absolutely incredible. KG affair it will be, but I'm going to go the Bolton win. I'm going to go the KG affair, David. I agree with you there, but I'm going to go with the 1-1 draw. Ladies and gentlemen, you've been absolutely incredible. Before you go, leave a like and subscribe. 114 people watching right now. If you all leave a like, technically, if I do my maths, you should have over 100 people leaving a like. Great maths. Should have over 100 likes. I know. I did pass GCSE maths, funnily enough. I'm going to go with the 1-1 draw. People asking what I've gone with there. 1-0, not sure to who. Please leave a like. Please subscribe if you're new around here. On the road now to 1.23 thousand subscribers. Just seeing we've hit 1.22. So please do hit that subscribe button. I'll be leaving my Discord server link in the description when I get around to do the description of this video, of course. But also you can check it out on the description of last episode. We talked to a lot of fans. Sort of gave a little bit of a preview into the season. A little one. It was actually a really big one. We spoke to 4-0 written all over it. Alex Griffin, massive Ipswich fan himself. And we spoke to a lot of fans. One Rovers Vlogs, Charlie, great guy. And also a lot of other other fans as well, of course, who watch the podcast. You want to be part of that, join the Discord server. It's just normally a League One chat. We discuss everything, but also when we do those phone-ins, we do those call-ins, you can get involved. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. I've been Jack. This has been the Unfan Podcast. This has been my opening day predictions and preview. Some huge games in there. I cannot wait for Saturday. Lots of content coming your way, of course, now as the season is just about to begin. I've been Jack. This has been the Unfan Podcast. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care.